Today on The Boot Guy, we're talking about the Carhartt 11-inch Wellington in Bison Brown. Now, Carhartt's been in this boot game for a while now, going on 3, 4, maybe even 5 years. And something you really got to notice about them is that they're coming a long way. They're actually creating styles that look unique and that feel unique to the brand. So their 11-inch Wellington is waterproof to the top. It's got a waterproof membrane built into the whole boot. Carhartt uses a dual density sole. You'll find this sole on a lot of their boots out there. It's chemical resistant, it's oil resistant, and it's slip resistant. And since it's a dual density sole, it's really comfortable. Now, if you're wondering if it's comp or steel, the magnet test. It's a steel toe. And that's a pretty nice thing in a Wellington like this, because guys that are going to be buying these, the concrete workers, the landscapers, guys who are around a lot of water, carpenters, curb carpenters, those guys, well, at times they're going to be working with saws, they're going to be working with sharp instruments and sledgehammers. Having a steel toe in those situations is a much better idea than having a comp toe, because comp toe, if you hit it, if you fracture it, you got to replace it. You can't see the fracture, so it's kind of like by default. When you hit the comp toe, you almost got to replace the boot right away. Now, the way they attach this sole to the upper is a direct attach welting system. So that means that the welt is actually sewn down to the boot, and then the sole is directly attached to that through epoxies and glues and just heat and stuff like that. The leather that they use is actually a really nice, tough, work grade leather. It's not a cheap knockoff type leather. This has got some beef to it. This is the type of leather that's going to suck up a lot of oil nicely and is going to perform really well in wet, sloppy, muddy conditions. That shaft all the way up is Cordura nylon, and it's a beautiful grade of Cordura. It's not a cheap 500 or 600 denier. That's 1,000 denier Cordura. So that's some strong stuff. It's going to be really good with abrasion. It's going to be really good with cleaning and getting the dirt and sand and lime out of there. And of course, the Carhartt logo at the top of the boot, their nice classic square logo, kind of offsets the boot nicely. Now, getting the boot on and off, 2 side pulls. And as you know, these side pulls can be utilized for many things, not just for getting that boot on and off. So whatever you figure out, you got a nice loop inside your boot. Now, the shaft circumference is really nice. It's not too big. On a lot of Wellingtons, you'll find this section to be really, really big. So guys with big, wide feet can slide them on and off. And other times, if it's coming from a Western boot, it's kind of narrow. So it's going to be hard on and off so the boot stays on the foot better. Carhartt really figured out a really nice circumference to make a boot fit and perform really well in a work environment. So if you're wondering about the thing on the back, that's Carhartt's heel guard. It adds stability and it adds comfort to the boot. Because in boots like this is going to be the first part that's really going to go out pulling this boot on and off every day. Unlike a lace boot where you would lace it and you could pull it off nicely, when you're sliding a pull-on boot on and off, usually the heel's the first thing to go. So this gives you a little section so your heel can lock in there, and it's going to hold its shape longer, so you're not pitching this boot just after a few months. Now, inside it's lined with this beautiful polyester material. It's one of those really abrasion-resistant materials. So as you slide your foot in and out, as you're walking, as you're moving around, and there's friction inside, you're not going to start wearing holes in here right away. It's a really nice liner, and it's padded. There's a little bit of padding between you and the Cordura and between you and the leather, and the lining runs all the way down into the vamp of the boot, so they actually knew what they were doing. Now, if you run your hand down the back of the boot around the heel section, the whole heel cup and about 6 inches above there has got a nice chunk of leather that's in there. So why they added that is to make it easy on and off, so that the heel of your foot kind of slides and doesn't rip down on that lining. Now, the insole inside the Carhartt 11-inch Wellington is a okay insole. It's nothing fancy. It's not like some of the other insoles that I've shown off before. But what it does have is it has a nice return to it. So it's not something you're going to have to replace right away. Not saying that you're not going to replace it. You know, the arch might be wrong for you. The heel cup might be wrong for you. But whatever you replace your insole with inside a pair of Wellingtons, try them in there first. And make sure you hold on to this in case you got to trace and cut the new ones to fit perfectly. Because it is a pull-on boot, you really don't want to have any edges that are off in any place because they could distort the fit of the boot 100%. Comfort? Yeah, it's comfortable. Dual density sole, a nice insole, easy on and off. It's got a bounce, it's got a steel toe, it's comfortable. Size and fit, on the other hand, well, I would say that you're going to have to try a half size to a size bigger than normal just to incorporate room underneath that steel toe. Especially if you're going to start playing around with these insoles, you're going to have a little bit longer of a boot, and you might even need something that's a little bit wider if you're going to start adding these to it. So that's the Carhartt 11-inch brown bison, waterproof, dual density sole, comfortable pull-on boot. If you've worn any of the Carhartt boots, please comment below. Let guys know what model you're wearing, what you think of Carhartt soles, and how does the waterproof membrane that Carhartt uses perform for you. If you want to see some detailed photos of this boot, or if you're looking to pick a pair up, swing by TheBootGuy.com. There I'll have all kinds of nice detailed photos of all the nooks and crannies, the inside of the boot, and I'll have a few links to make it a little bit easier getting a pair of these on your feet. Please don't forget to hit my subscribe button below. It really helps out. And if you should have any questions about sizing, fitting, any of that stuff, shoot me over an email. Happy to answer them. All right, until the next time, I'm the Boot Guy. Thanks a lot for watching.